Thank you very much, and welcome to our bulletin this Sunday evening. Our sign language interpreter is Maresha Owuti. Former Devolution Cabinet Secretary Anne Waiguru is tomorrow scheduled to appear before the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission over the 971 million shillings National Youth Service scam. Waiguru, who was earlier this month cleared by the commission, was entangled in the scam yet again after Josephine Kabura, in an affidavit, linked her to the transfer of millions of shillings. The EACC on Friday tried to save face over the Waiguru case, but as Rita Tinina reports, several loose ends in the Commission's handling of the case are putting the integrity of the Commission into question.
On the 10th of November last year, Anne Waiguru had her first date with detectives at the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. And when the EACC cleared her over the NYS scam on the 4th of this month, Waiguru may have shaken off the NYS ghosts that have been following her, but only for a while. An affidavit by Josephine Kabura, which details how millions of shillings exchanged hands with instructions from Waiguru and how a plot was hatched to fix third parties in the NYS scam, has landed her another date with detectives. Waiguru will appear before the EACC after the Commission opened a fresh probe into allegations made by Kabura.
How come the EACC issued a clearance to one of the individuals in the frame, and that same individual, less than a fortnight later, the same EACC says it's opening a fresh set of investigations on?
A question that has left the EACC with some egg on its face. The EACC says it only cleared Waiguru on 4 cases touching on the NYS and not the 791 million shillings case. The letter clearing Waiguru indicated that the Commission had conducted investigations on various allegations but did not specify the 4 cases it now claims Waiguru was cleared in. Neither did the Commission indicate that investigations into the 791 million shillings were still ongoing. Waiguru's clearance raised eyebrows from the word go. Her clearance letter, written by the EACC Chief Executive Halake Wako, was addressed to the Chief of Staff and Head of Public Service Joseph Kenywa at State House. Ordinarily, such a letter would be addressed to the Director of Public Prosecutions, raising questions over what role State House played in the investigations by an independent commission. And now, even more questions are being raised.
Then comes the 791 million, which is in the public discourse, and which is kind of, it has a huge life right now. That 791 was at the same time being investigated by a different government institution, not the EACC.
But a letter by the Director of Public Prosecutions in September last year tells a different story that puts the EACC at the forefront of the investigations. The letter is on an inquiry into transactions at the NYS, recommending charges against a number of companies and individuals for the theft of just over 791 million shillings and for conspiracy to steal over 695 million shillings. In the letter, the DPP states that several aspects of the fraud would properly fall under the mandate of the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission under the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act 2003, the Leadership and Integrity Act, and the Public Officers Ethics Act. The DPP in the letter directs that the EACC be invited to join the prosecution team to participate in the review of the file. The letter states that the investigation carried out by the CID is limited to offences under the Penal Code. How did the EACC, even with the DPP's instructions that aspects of the case fall under its jurisdiction, fail to live up to its mandate? The country's anti-corruption watchdog, which is trying to save face, will no doubt have a busy week ahead. Aside from Waiguru's appearance, Josephine Kabura, who failed to show up at the EACC headquarters on Thursday citing health reasons, is expected to appear before the Commission on Tuesday. Rita Tinina, KTN News.
Uganda's main opposition candidate Kizza Besigye has called on the international community to reject the country's 2016 election results, saying they were a sham and not free and fair. On the other hand, President Yoweri Museveni has denied rigging allegations against his National Resistance Movement NRM and has extended an olive branch to Besigye, who is still under house arrest, to work with his government. KTN's political affairs editor Ben Kitili reports from Kampala, Uganda.
Asked us why we are here.
Uganda's main opposition leader, Kizza Besigye of the Forum for Democratic Change (FDC), has officially rejected Saturday's presidential election results announced by the Uganda Electoral Commission.
The international observer missions of the African Union, the European Union and the Commonwealth have all in their preliminary reports indicated that this exercise has not been free, fair, transparent or credible. I urge you on behalf of the brave citizens of our country, Uganda, to reject the results of these elections as sham and unacceptable.
Besigye has been under house arrest since Friday when he was picked up at Kampala's FDC party headquarters alongside other party officials. The opposition stalwart was placed under house arrest ostensibly to stop him from announcing his vote tally.
By ratifying these sham elections, the international community would be invited to become a partner in the violations of the Ugandan and African people.
Meanwhile, President Museveni has extended an olive branch to election losers Besigye and go-forwards Amama Mbabazi, saying he invites them to work with him.
I thank the people of Uganda for turning up in big numbers and voting maturely in the sense of political opinions rather than sectarian opinions.
Museveni has rubbished claims of rigging leveled against his National Resistance Movement NRM.
If NRM was rigging, why did we not rig in Kampala? Why do I agree to lose where I can rig? That's rubbish.
Besigye has urged the world to ignore the results announced by the Electoral Commission. Museveni has issued a stern warning against any form of demonstrations in Uganda.
Now, handling Besigye cannot be allowed to disturb our peace. Now, the other time we went to invade a police house.
President Yoweri Museveni has called off a celebration rally that was set to be held here in Kampala Monday. Museveni says his administration will put the fight against corruption at the top of its agenda. He will, however, have to reorganize his government as a total of 20 cabinet ministers lost their seats in the 2016 elections and will not be part of Uganda's 10th parliament. Ben Kitili, KTN News, Kampala, Uganda.
Back home, battle lines have been drawn ahead of next month's Kericho by-election, with both Jubilee and KANU saying they are sure of winning the Senate seat. Deputy President William Ruto and the Met Governor Isaac Ruto are involved in a war of words, with the governor accusing the Deputy President of using unfair tactics in the campaigns.
Mimi nataka niwahakikishie Kericho itakuwa 90% Jubilee. Sisi ni watu wenye akili. Hatuwezi kuomba Mungu na kufanya bidii tukaunda serikali, alafu tukawacha serikali tukaenda kufanya karata ya pata potea ya kwenda upinzani. Hiyo haiwezekani.
We are certain we will capture this seat. This is a decision of the people of Kericho, and it does not require a lot of lecturing from the DP, and especially him calling them fools. Throughout his rallies yesterday, he made it very clear that those who want to vote any other candidate are fools, and that the only correct candidate is a Jubilee candidate. He even said that the people of Nyangores are foolish to have voted for the opposition. You wonder what that opposition is all about.
Now, talk of a blessing on a Sunday afternoon after a church service. Worshippers at an Eldoret church are now drawing oil from a water borehole. The worshippers say they discovered oil from the well and believe it is as a result of their faith in God. And as Zinzi Kibiku now reports, the worshippers do not want any interference from government.
While a church service takes place at the Gospel to the World Faith Ministries, outside this roofing still, a different conversation is taking place. Back in the day, water turned into wine, but in this millennium, a well in Eldoret city is giving wine a run for its money. This well has brought so much joy to residents. As it turns water into oil, and residents are having a fun-filled time as they try and understand how all this is possible.
Tunakuja hapa hivi kuimba, kufanya mazoezi ya praise and worship. Alafu tukasikia harufu inanuka hapa hivi. So tulisongea hapo tukaona ni mafuta. Kwanza mimi nilifurahi kabisa. Nilijua sasa maisha yangu yamebadilika kabisa, Mungu amechipu maombi. Sasa tukakuja hapo tukaanza kuchota mafuta. So mimi leo nimefurahi niko na mafuta. Alafu ni asubuhi nilichota lita 20 hivi, nachua tenda niuse huko mafuta.
Tulikuwa tumekuja kanisani saa 8, alafu tukapata inanuka, tukapata mnuko fulani. Ndio tukakuja kuangalia tukapata ni mafuta. So tukaanza kuchota ndio at least umejua life bana life. Lakini haikuagi hivyo, hii ni mara ya kwanza.
Tumejaribu kuulizia kama inaweza kuwa leakage, tumepata si leakage. Kwa sababu tumefikiria kwa akili zetu pipeline yezi pitisha hapa pipe. Na tumeangalia huko hii KTN gas yezi fikisha hapa. Sasa hii ni discovery.
Despite the danger they are exposing themselves to, they continue drawing from the well, reiterating that although the water was contaminated, they had found something more valuable. The new discovered treasure has brought mixed reactions of whether the government should be involved or not.
Sasa mimi chenye ningependa serikali isikuja hata apate kitoko. Mimi saizi hapa nimepata kiteka uchumi. Uje naweza teka uchumi hapa saa yote. Hata naweza kuja nilala hapa hivi kuanzia usiku saa 8 bora nikuwe na torch. Nikuwe na torch. Niliona discovery ya mafuta hapa ndani.
Kuna wengi wanateseka na maji, lakini sasa ikiwa kisima watu watakunywa maji. Hiyo ni madhara ya kwanza. Ya pili, hii vile iko hivi, mtu akihata kiberiti hapo ndani ya maji mwenyewe inaweza ua mtu. Mtu akihakisha moto hapo inaweza ua watu. So ndio maana tunasema serikali tusaidie, ikuje iweke hapa yani security.
Na mimi mwenzangu alikuwa amesema andaka serikali lete security, mimi nakataa. Sababu wakileta mimi ndalala njaa. Juu ninategemea hapa kwa saa hii wiki. Rent ndio hii.
Area member of County Assembly Ramadhan Ali said the incident is hazardous to the lives of many who reside in the area and called on Kenya Pipeline Company and the surrounding petrol stations to investigate the source of the petrol spillage that has infiltrated the 42 meters deep well.
Hii ni uchumi. Shajaa unamwaga hapa.
Zinzi Kibiku, KTN News.